start the game.
We haven't gotten a No More Heroes game since No More Heroes 2 in 2010, and no, Travis Strikes Again does not count. But now, we finally got No More Heroes 3, but is it worth the wait? Is it... I've heard this in another review and I'm stealing it, sorry. Is it a touchdown? Or is it a travesty? Well, let's review. Hi guys, DPX here, reviewing today No More Heroes 3, developed by Grasshopper Manufacture and published by Grasshopper Manufacture and Marvelous. Now before we get started, you know what to do. Check this video, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell and leave a comment or I'll assassinate you. No More Heroes 3 plays pretty much exactly like No More Heroes 1 and 2, and that is to say, really damn well. When it comes to combat, you basically just slash your way through all the enemies, and it's very satisfying and just feels really nice. You have many cool abilities too, like obviously you can swing your beam katana around, as well as the ability to suplex your enemies, but you also have the ability to drop kick, slow down time, and a couple of other things too. You kind of get all the abilities very early on in the game, which I wish was not the case, so you unlock more cool abilities the more you progress through the game, but I digress. Then there is the giant mech suit, which actually changes up the gameplay a bit in a cool way. It's sort of a thing that builds up throughout the fights, and it's pretty cool. In between your designated matches, you run around many overworlds, which I'll get into later, but you'll also probably find yourself doing some side tasks. Stuff like mowing the lawn, unclogging toilets, cleaning up water, shooting giant alligators, and more are all nice additions. The boss fights are cool too. No More Heroes has always had cool boss fights, and this one is no different. There's even one that's like a JRPG. When it comes to the gameplay, No More Heroes 3 is a very fun game to play.
Fu, everyone so far has died.
Battle is about deciding the winners and the losers. It's about the rules.
No More Heroes 3 takes place 10 years after No More Heroes 2, but just a few years after Travis Strikes Again, which, yet again, doesn't count. This time, Travis Touchdown has to take down aliens as they've invaded Earth. I also really like the anime style opening, as it doesn't even seem like the same game, which is kind of funny. And the main villain, Fu, is basically what if E.T. grew up to be a giant asshole. And that concept is both funny and engaging, and plays out that way too. Funny and engaging. It just works. As for Travis himself, he is still very cool. I would have liked him to have changed a little bit in his personality since No More Heroes 2, because this does take place 10 years later, but he's still a cool and entertaining character nonetheless. I also like the fourth wall breaking in this game, as it works. A lot of people don't like fourth wall breaking humor, as it's basically just saying like, hey, do you know we're in a video game and none of this stuff is actually happening? I understand why maybe it'll be, you know, a little distracting, maybe taking you out of it. And it could be pretty egregious sometimes, but not in this game. I don't want to get much into spoilers, but the story and characters are surely a high point. Now this is the segment where I talk about other stuff that are definitely worth mentioning, but don't really need their own segments. Of course, the music slaps. No More Heroes has always had a good soundtrack, and this game's is certainly no different. One thing that really did bother me, though, is the performance and how the game looks. It wasn't too much to where the game was unplayable, as I never received any crashes, but it got pretty distracting at times. there were frame rate drops, pop-ins, assets that didn't load in time, and the game honestly just looks unfinished graphically. When I saw review footage for this game, I was stunned by just how unfinished the game looked, and I even thought to myself, this isn't the release product. And then I realized that it's the review footage, and it kinda is. And it looks worse in the Call of Battle location, which is what you're looking at right now. Or I don't know, maybe I edited it, but it's what you were looking at the start of this segment with the weird filter. And it honestly makes it look worse. Again, it didn't make the game unplayable, but it was distracting at times. Good thing the game is super fun though. The overworld isn't really that good either. There are the designated matches, other matches, some side tasks that I mentioned earlier, and that's it. And also with, you know, just not really looking that good, the overworld isn't even that nice to look at. Lastly, towards the end of the game, without getting into specifics, because, you know, I want you to experience it, it seemed to overstay its welcome just a little bit. The ending seemed like it was dragged out to make the game seem a little longer, even if, you know, what was going on was pretty cool. I won't give anything away, but yeah. I know this entire segment was me talking about my issues with this game pretty much, minus praising the soundtrack, but don't let that fool you, as this game is a very fun game. I was honestly so invested in this game yesterday, yesterday, I basically played it for the whole day non-stop.
Today's special guest is someone very special to me, Travis! Touchdown!
In conclusion, No More Heroes 3 is a very solid time. Sure, the performance leaves a little to be desired, the overworld is rather disappointing, and the ending seemed a little dragged out to make the game feel longer, but the combat, story, characters, sense of humor, bosses, and soundtrack all make this game a very worthwhile journey. In the end, I give No More Heroes 3 an 8 out of 10. It's a solid ending to Travis Touchdown's story. And yeah, I'll say it's a touchdown. And yeah, seriously, Suda51 said this is the final No More Heroes game, so good one to go out on. Now, obviously, that was my review. I've seen this game getting very mixed reviews online, and I understand because, you know, I'm a little more lenient when it comes to performance, at least in some cases. Like in a case like this, it didn't bother me too much. It was just distracting, but other people, you know, that bothers them a lot more, and I completely get that. I do think you should try this game out for yourself and see what you think. Anyways, that's No More Heroes 3. What'd you think of my review? Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? Do you like the game? Do you not like the game? Do you have the game? Do you not have the game? And if you don't, do you want it? Do you not want it? Anything about the game, let me know down below. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you like this video, come subscribe, or I'll assassinate you. Bye, guys.